Welcome, everybody, to Real Wreckers,
where we are all things movie,
all things TV, all things nerd. Last time on Real Wreckers.
We had a nice big discussion.
Absolutely. And the best part about it is that for most of the things, we agreed to disagree on most of our decisions when it came to Hogwarts houses and the Marvel characters we would sort them into.
And we had a couple of good discussions, leveled agreements, leveled each other in complete and utter savage debate, and then we compromised, I'd say, at some points.
Absolutely. But that was last episode. Today, we're sticking on the topic of superheroes, but this time, we're going into a bit more of a
adult superhero.
Rated R for sure. We're going
TV 14,
yeah,
TV 17.
No, it's I would say it's TVMA.
TVMA, thank you. Sorry, I was like, what's the age
Does
for
TVMA exist in the world of streaming anymore? Is that a thing anymore?
I get, it's really like normal, and then there's child mode now. I think it's more catered to the adult at this point for streaming.
Yeah, but even then, kids can easily access the adult streaming services much easier than usual.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But speaking of which, we are on the topic of The Boys.
The Boys.
Amazon Prime's The Boys.
Which, not gonna lie, I didn't hold back seeing it originally at first. I was just more excited at what's his name? Like when you recommended it. Like you said it's definitely worth the watch.
Absolutely. I started watching it when it was first coming out. I'm pretty sure it first came out in 2019, and it just happened, and it was the summer of 2019 actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually really bummed because I just saw Infinity War. God knows how many. No, actually no. It wasn't Infinity War. Infinity War was 2018. I just saw Avengers Endgame. And that was the reason why I was so excited to see The Boys, because I was actually really disappointed at the previous superhero films and superhero TV shows that I saw earlier on in the year, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna suck. And then I saw The Boys, and I was like, wow, this is the best superhero property to come out this year.
This is the best like adult violent what's his name? I want to say extreme and unafraid. I think it knows how much it can do with no limits.
Absolutely. It's made by Seth Rogen of all people, and Eric Kripke, who also made Supernatural.
That sounds like that. No, never mind. That actually makes so much more sense. That plus a huge budget for an Amazon Prime show, it just allows them to freely be as funny, over the top, and unnatural as possible.
And completely and utterly unafraid to be so self-aware.
Like, down to any current event, like, on the internet or in the real world.
God knows how many memes that they've referenced. God knows how many celebrity cameos they've gotten from the real world.
How many memes they've made because of it.
They got Chris Hansen in season 2 at one point.
Being able to make fun of a lot of large figures without even having to, like, twist their name. You can literally just reference the, like 3-syllable description of them. You're like, oh, I know exactly who they're making fun of. You don't even have to think about it.
Exactly. And the best part is, like, it's not like they go all the way with their language, with their cursing, but they don't just do it because they're allowed to do it. They do it in a way that seems like completely natural. Like a person would actually curse like that. A horrible person, but a person.
Yeah, it's not low-hanging fruit for any of like the violence, the gore, the adult jokes, and the cursing. It doesn't come off as, oh yeah, look, I can curse as much as I want in this script. No, it's like it comes with a reaction. An event happens, some like crazy actual consequences of someone having powers.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, they don't hold back. It's not like backstory, childhood. No, you can step into that after we know who this person is. We have to see their actions first. We see their actions and we see how the world interacts with them. It's not fair in this world. It literally is like from the start, nothing's fair. Someone way richer and more famous and more powerful than you can literally, first episode, I'm talking about the first episode, fly past, take someone out of your life.
Yeah. Well, run past.
I was gonna say, I'm saying, turn them into a mist. When someone gets blasted into a mist just because someone ran past them, I'm pretty sure he didn't actually run. What is his name?
A-Train.
A-Train. I wanted to say Atrium. I forget why.
Well, it sounds like it.
Yeah. First episode, as long as you've seen it, spoiler alert for season 1, episode 1, I guess. If you haven't seen it, go watch just right off the bat.
Oh, absolutely. We are going to talk about spoilers, but we are going to give you the little heads up every now and then.
And especially for a certain someone listening out there, we just want to make sure that you enjoy it up until your spoiler section.
Absolutely.
Not to mention an amazing soundtrack.
Oh yeah, exactly. So the best part about The Boys, in my opinion, is just because at first you can just look at it and see it like, oh, superheroes, but they're all a-holes. But no, there's more to it. They're jerks, but the more you watch it, the more you start to develop their backstory. You see them as they were afterwards. The more you watch, the more the puzzle pieces start to come together as to how they came to be that jerk.
And how much of a function of the system that they work for or the company that they work for
Absolutely.
are they literally just the hands of a brain?
And without going into spoilers, the best example of this, in my opinion, is Queen Maeve. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For me,
because
I still want to say Homelander, especially Homelander and what is her name?
Starlight,
No, the other one.
Queen Maeve,
Stormfront. Stormfront, thank you. Stormfront and Homelander's entire like iceberg level context is insane to me.
Yeah. And just especially with Queen Maeve, because for me, with Queen Maeve, because the more you see of her in the first season, you're just like, she's just sort of a jerk, but at least she's not as horrible as Homelander and those other people. And then the more you watch her in season 2, you start to realize, oh, she's an actual good human being, just in the wrong circumstances.
I was gonna say, under so many like horrific circumstances with literally no out.
She's just gotten numb to all of this at this point.
Literally walled in by blackmail.
Yeah.
She's basically Wonder Woman, like T to a T.
Oh, she is this world's version of Wonder Woman. Every single member of the Seven is a version of the Justice League.
But their backstories
are completely different.
They are corporate fabrications.
Absolutely.
Without saying anything specific.
And apparently in season
she's not Amazonian.
in season 3, we're going to get some more superheroes, but this time we're going into Avengers territory.
Ooh.
Yeah, like Jensen Ackles from Supernatural. Again, bringing all those Supernatural actors back into the show. I'm loving it. He's coming into the show to play the character of Soldier Boy, who is Captain America.
No, I was thinking of like Soldier Boy.
I knew you were going to say that. And my favorite thing about Soldier Boy is because apart from the suit that we're seeing in the show that looks actually really cool.
All the suits look really genuinely like nice.
Yeah.
They look like
especially
actually.
Homelander, I love his costume.
I hate how much I actually like his costume.
Yes. His costume is amazing. I wanted to be Homelander in 2019 for Halloween.
Everything about it is so wrong that it's right. Like
Exactly.
wearing a flag.
Wearing a flag should not look awesome.
But the
Makes
suit
it looks awesome.
Yeah, I hate to say that, but like sometimes flags look cooler when they're worn.
Exactly. And what was the subject? What was I talking about?
You were talking about Queen Maeve.
I was talking about Queen Maeve. I moved on from the subject.
Something
Maeve.
herself.
Yeah,
Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy.
Tell him.
The best part about Soldier Boy, apart from his what he looks like in the live action show, now that he's coming in and how awesome he looks, it's his comic appearance. Have you ever seen the picture of Soldier Boy in The Boys?
No, I might have to look that up.
It looks like the usual Captain America costume, but he's wearing shorts and his shield is a bit different just for copyright reasons.
Is it cargo shorts?
No, it's just like the regular like Captain America shorts, but they are short shorts. But he's completely terrified and he's peed his pants. That is the most famous picture of Soldier Boy in the Boys comics.
They're gonna adapt it to the show, like from the comic too.
I really hope that image is in the show somewhere. I really want it to be.
Dude, they have to, because even for very similar to The Boys, just animated Invincible, it starts off a lot more misleadingly innocent. Like it looks like a DC animated series, like very similar, like early 2000s art style, where it's like detailed but not blocked out. it starts out being like, oh yeah, it's just a teen love story or something, or like a coming of age story. No, it's as bad as The Boys, possibly worse, just as violent.
I haven't seen Invincible, but I know 2 memes from it, and you probably know which 2 memes I'm talking about.
You're fighting just so you can watch everyone around you die. Like, yeah.
Think, Mark!
Think,
Think! And then there's the other one, but I don't know what Mark says, but the response from Omni-Man is, that's the best part. You don't! What's the conversation? Because I'm
replaying
legitimately
it in my
interested what that conversation was. Because I've only seen the last half from memes.
I think it was like, so when do I fully get control over my flight? He's like, that's the best part. You don't. It was like something along the lines of, oh, how am I going to master this new ability I have? Because it's like genetic, and it picked up when you were 17, and I just turned 17, and I feel like I can fly. He's like, well, that's the best part. You never really figure out how to land. You just kind of make a small crater.
That's actually hilarious.
Once again, my J.K. Simmons bias is 100% in. Dude, he's perfect in this.
He's perfect in everything. What are you talking about?
I'm saying all of his roles, dude. I don't want him to be necessarily a good guy, but when he can be someone you're not supposed to like, but you can't not back.
Yeah, but at the same time, I really wanted to see him as Jim Gordon in Ben Affleck's Batman movie that was supposed to be made and then didn't made, and then it got made, but Matt Reeves was attached, and then Ben Affleck left, and blah, blah, blah.
That is the same level of too good to be true as Willem Dafoe being the Joker. That is like same level of we want it if it happens.
It's kind of like J.K. Simmons if he was J. Jonah Jameson.
Man, you're right. That would be so perfect. Can you imagine that?
J. Jonah Jameson.
J.K. Simmons. J.K.
Simmons. Well, same person when you really think about it. J.K. Simmons makes the perfect fan cast for most of every single comic book related material, and the best part is he's part of that comic material, and that fan cast eventually gets made.
And he's not comical, like he's not comically exaggerated, because it's all so believable.
Moral of the story is we want J.K. Simmons in The Boys.
Oh, dude. Wait. If they pull
Omni-Man, Homelander.
If they pull some like multiverse level stuff,
absolutely.
I think
you're getting into that boy's mindset of, oh, I can say whatever I want.
I'm just like, no, don't gotta pinch my lips shut.
Exactly.
But because they can like parody anything they want at this point. Mostly DC, I think that they really prefer because of that level.
Because it's so easy to parody DC nowadays.
Well,
especially they were in season 2. Not a spoiler. They're making a movie called Dawn of the Seven. And the poster for Dawn of the Seven looks exactly like the BVS poster.
And you can only get mad, not at them parodying it so well, at them doing it with no hesitation. Like,
the best part about Soldier Boy coming into season 3 is the fact that maybe we can get some MCU spoofs in there too. Now that an Avengers spoof is coming in.
I think they're slowly going to creep that also.
Because there's another Marvel spoof, Tech Knight. We all know who that's a parody of.
Let me think.
That's right, Black Widow. It's a parody of Iron Man, obviously. I hope that...
I thought it was Moon Knight. I thought it was going to be a parody of Moon Knight.
Nope.
Wait, Black Noir, I guess, would be that, huh?
Black Noir is sort of a
he's a Batman Moon
Knight. He's a Batman parody, but at the same time, I think of him more as Snake Eyes. Have you ever thought about that?
There's a little bit of Moon Knight like injected though, if you literally just invert his costume.
I would say that he is the perfect combination of what happens when Moon Knight and Batman come together, which I think essentially makes Snake Eyes.
Also like Black Noir, Black Noir. Like, I also all of their names being kind of awful. Like, incorrect.
Oh, absolutely.
Translucent.
Translucent?
Butcher, he's like, translucent means slightly see-through but still visible.
It means semi-transparent.
You're not semi-transparent. I can't say the full quote. That sucks. You doofus. I can't.
Yeah.
We can't say
I actually do sort of love Translucent's power, because he's not just invisible, he's made of like a diamond material, so he's not just invisible.
He refracts light.
He is bulletproof. He is essentially invincible.
Yes.
You know what I just realized?
What? We
are like 15, 16 minutes in, and we haven't gotten to the Instagram polls.
Let's get into those Instagram polls.
Yeah, I just realized that.
Oh my goodness, we forgot. We didn't forget.
We didn't forget. We got caught up in conversation.
We were caught up in the moment.
Exactly. We do love ourselves a good conversation, especially with the boys. I feel like we can get some good conversation out of because it is a conversation starter in and of itself.
Oh yeah, like have you seen it? Have you not? Well, let me tell you about how much.
It's kind of like Euphoria that way.
Dude, have you seen it yet?
Nope.
Are you gonna do your full binge? Because it is a lot. Like
I will do my full binge when there is a weekend where no new releases come out.
Good luck, dude, because I'm just saying, even mid-episode, you might have to take a break. It's heavy. Anyone making fun of it hasn't seen it, and if they have seen it and made fun of it, flew over the head.
I haven't seen anyone make fun of it. I've seen people just praising the visuals.
I hold it close to Better Call Saul.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
That level
That's a high standard right there for you.
When Tuco meets Jimmy level.
Whoa.
That is how high I hold it.
That's like the point of Better Call Saul when I was like, this pilot is good, but it's not really grabbing what.
And then it grabs you by the. It
literally grabs you by the throat.
Yeah. So I recommend Euphoria. Just be ready. Have water. Have tissues. Have a fan.
Have a mental break ready is what you're saying.
I was gonna say have a weighted blanket.
Just stop after season 1 and then
stop after episode 2. Take a break.
Stop after episode 2. Have a break. Watch a comedy. Then come back.
Look at videos of puppies. Come back.
Absolutely.
It's just heavy, like heavy subject matter. This is a heavy subject matter episode. So when we discuss it, we try to be as not walking on eggshells, but like not trying to hold an egg in your hand, but only with your fingertips level of delicacy.
So, with that said, let's move on to the polls about the boys.
The boys' polls.
Our first poll was, who is your favorite member of the 7?
Favorite member?
Who's your favorite member of the 7? Well, there have been multiple members of the 7 nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. There have been people who have come and gone. We've seen them come and gone, and they have come and gone in very brutal ways.
I mean, is this just favorite, like you like their character, or the least worst character you can think of?
Who do you like seeing on screen? Who do you like seeing seeing more time developed to their character?
Black Noir, actually.
Absolutely. I was about to say Black Noir.
He's
I think
he's like a Boba Fett type to me also, where he's silent. I want to know more about him when I see him expressing anything. He doesn't have to say words. He just has to express.
I think Tony Starr as Homelander is by far the best actor in the entire show. Mm-hmm. As Homelander, he's the best actor of the entire show, and I don't think he's been nominated for an Emmy, and I'm pissed.
Yet, I was gonna say yet.
He needs to be nominated for an Emmy. He's so good.
But yeah, for his range of emotions he can do for a sociopath. Being able to portray.
There is a scene in season 2 where the camera is just closing up on him as he's trying to deliver a very compassionate speech, and his eyes are just dead. He is lifeless in those eyes, even though the words he's saying is completely compassionate. And I'm like, wow. If he doesn't win an Emmy for this, I'm giving up on the show. He didn't win an Emmy, and I gave up on the show.
He's got layers to it where he portrays.
He's like an ogre,
like onions. He portrays someone portraying someone level where he can fake out and then snap as soon as the quote unquote camera, like the fake camera in the show, is off of him. You can see his ugly side just flash out.
One of the best parts of season 1 is when he's in a crowd of people and he's like, "Hey, I can't believe you're all here. Thanks so much." And he's so happy and he's so cheerful, and then he goes behind a tent, and the moment that tent closes, that facade just drops, and he says, "Where's my agent?"
Like, you can see all of the muscles in his face just snap back to normal.
Emotionally, that must be exhausting for an actor.
Dude, like, I was gonna say, having to cry in a role, it takes a little bit of training, be able to literally like tickle your tear ducts without having
to completely change expressions multiple times in one scene.
I feel like that would I don't know how that doesn't mess with you as a person, like as an actor.
Apparently, it did because he is because he assaulted someone, and season 4 is now on hold because they are trying to get him released from prison.
No way.
Yeah, he assaulted. Yeah, Tony Starr apparently assaulted someone.
Wow. That's bad. That's bad.
Homelander took its toll.
Yeah.
Those sort of great villain roles always take their toll. The more I realize.
Giancarlo Esposito. Is that Espinizo or Espinito? Giancarlo Espinito. See, shut up. Look it up.
Yeah. Okay. Giancarlo
Esposito.
Esposito.
His dynamic range of villains and being able, I compare that to the same level of Facade Drops, where you can see his Gus, the manager of somewhere,
The manager of Los Pollos Hermanos.
Watching
With
his
the
facade.
best, I have to give credit. Los Pollos Hermanos has the best ads for Breaking Bad. They are the most hilarious things ever.
The employee certification videos.
Yes.
Yeah, for those, I would say that's also another point where you can see his expression drop. I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah. But going
Joel.
going back to Black Noir, even though I do think Tony Starr is the best actor of the boys, I think Black Noir might be my favorite character of the 7.
He's also the least horrible person, I'd
What-
say.
I would say he's horrible, but it's just because he's competent at his job. He
And-
is the most morally gray character. What is it? Not lawful neutral.
Chaotic
It's true
neutral.
neutral. He is true neutral to a T.
Until, there's a job. He's just doing
He's true neutral to a T because he is the most terrifying member of the 7 because he is just doing his job. The worst part is he does his job well.
You notice none of them really talk to him, like personally.
Starlight tried to do in I'm pretty sure it was episode 2. She tried to, and he just looked at her hand, looked up at her face, and walked by.
Like, you can't get mad at him because he hasn't treated you like the rest of your coworkers at your job yet.
He is the only person of the 7 that Homelander respects. As he, we're going to go into minor spoilers for the tail end of season 1. Minor spoilers. So
Spoiler,
5,
spoiler,
4,
spoiler, spoiler,
3,
spoiler, spoiler,
2,
spoiler, spoiler,
1.
spoiler.
When Homelander is chewing out every single member of the 7, saying they're all terrible at their job, he just randomly says, "Not you, Black Noir. You've been great."
Because every time we see him, he's never had external casualties. He's never flunked a mission.
I honestly think he is secretly the most dangerous member of the 7.
Well, referring to the comics, I thought he was secret. Am I allowed to talk about this?
Yeah, go ahead. We've already given the spoiler. We've already given
Yeah,
the
yeah.
spoiler. There you go.
Secretly,
He was secretly a clone of Homelander that was meant to be his
I was gonna say
contingency
the
that just went off the rails and said, "No, I'm no longer his contingency. He is my pawn."
yeah, I was gonna say, I thought he was supposed to secretly be the anti-Homelander.
It looks like they're going to go in a different direction with the show because
that season 3 trailer. Can we talk about Butcher and his?
What is going on with Butcher? Because
I think he will never willingly take Compound V, the super drug.
the super drug.
But I think he was given it unwillfully. Either
I think he's hallucinating. I think he's constantly hallucinating. Like, I need to get Homelander. I need to get Homelander. That he slowly, in his own crazy way, is realizing, oh, I'm slowly becoming Homelander.
No, really?
I think it's a hallucination.
I think he sees all of his fears, and in his nightmares, they embody the face of Homelander.
True.
Which I'd say in all of his waking moments, it's also all of his horrifying moments are also from Homelander. So can't blame him.
But the best part about Black Noir, in my opinion, is not only just how deceptively strong he is. He full on took a blast from a superhero, took a full on that tore down a building, and he just ended up with barely a scratch.
And even when he does get hurt, he's not he's not out for the count. He has not been out for the count once.
Literally, the only time he was out for the count was when Queen Maeve shoved an almond joy in his face because he has a tree nut allergy. That is his only weakness.
But it's not lethal because he's gonna be there on the ground the entire time, almond joying to death.
Yeah.
But the second you just throw a Benadryl at him, he'll probably just snap back to reality.
Absolutely. And hilariously, whenever we see Black Noir not on a mission, he's just doing the most random thing ever. We see him playing the piano at one point as Vought's secrets are coming out. We just see him crying while watching the news on his phone. And then at one point, he's just drinking I'm pretty sure it was a beer with a straw through his mask. I'm like, how is that possible?
Well, for certain fabrics, yeah, you can just drink straight through it.
It's weird, and I don't think that would be comfortable. Well, I mean,
I think he's
when we saw him somewhat unmasked. When we saw him somewhat unmasked, he was severely burned, so I don't think comfort really matters to him that much.
I was gonna say, I assume he's one of those types where he likes to keep his gloves on. He likes to go to sleep with socks. He probably goes to sleep in the costume, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely. That's not even a question.
I only find that relatable because 6-year-old me would not take off my Spider-Man costume even when Halloween was over.
And I feel like Black Noir, having watched The Boys Diabolical, which is the animated show which just came out,
which I want to see so bad.
So spoilers for The Boys Diabolical. I do think if you like The Boys, you will love that because it is just The Boys, but without the fear of budget. So they're allowed to go all the way with their insane ideas. So spoilers for The Boys Diabolical in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In the final episode, we get an actual somewhat origin of Homelander. We see him
not just him as a baby in a lap.
We don't see him. We see him his start in Vought, his start in the Seven, and we see at that point Black Noir is sort of the face of the Seven. He is before Homelander was the face of the Seven. It was Black Noir, and Homelander wanted to be the face of the Seven. So what did he do? Homelander went out on his own to stop a hostage situation at a power plant, but he was stuck on the whole scripted end of the superhero spectrum, where all there are no casualties, and it's all scripted, so he can do whatever he wants with his strength, and everything will turn out fine. Every time he tries to do something non-lethal to one of the kidnappers. That's the word. To one of the kidnappers, it ends up going horribly wrong. He tries to tie one of them up in a metal pipe so that they can't go away, so that they can't get away, and crushes them. Accidentally crushes them.
He pulls the pipe like a string.
Absolutely. She can't breathe, and she just dies right there. He tries to, because one of the hostages is being held at gunpoint, he tries to laser the gun like all the superheroes do. What happens? The gun explodes.
Because there's a bunch of exploding bullets in the clip.
And then as one of the hostages is freaking out, he starts to panic, shut up, and then grabs her mouth to say, just stop talking. I can do this. I just need to focus. And then let's go. And her jaw is off.
I think that half of the evil Superman, the evil Superman structure, is built more upon when it comes to, oh yeah, I live in a world made of cardboard. Actually, no, I live in a world made of paper mache, and my hands are wet all the time, so everything literally will just melt if I push on it.
We saw Homelander try to be the good guy, and he just ended up so wrong. And then, as there's only one single person left in that room, one single survivor, he looks behind him. Black Noir's right there, and they have an actual fight.
I need to see this.
We have an actual Homelander Black Noir fight where Black Noir is actually getting the best of him at some points. And then at one point, when there's only the one hostage left, Black Noir kills him. And then writes something down on a piece of paper, shows it to Homelander. We never see what the piece of paper says. And then we cut to Homelander making up a story about how he couldn't save the hostages with Black Noir right behind him. And you get the feeling that, oh my God, Black Noir is Homelander's mentor.
And you
That's
know
where
what?
this is all coming from.
And this also shows what is Black Noir immune to that Homelander isn't.
Exactly.
Homelander can have as much controversy surrounding him as possible. He is
But
literally
Black Noir, there is no controversy around him because he can't have controversy
You
around
can't
him.
misquote him. You can't see him doing anything. You can't catch him.
You can't catch his identity.
He's literally the
He is
existence
invincible. He is invincible through the media.
Of,
He is physically invincible and media invincible.
I call him durable. I'd say Homelander is still what we see as virtually invincible. We haven't seen Homelander get hurt yet.
Well, we saw him get knocked down at one point by his own kid.
Yeah, but that's like equal to equal. Black Noir is so durable because he bounces. You can punch through him, but he will not go down. Homelander, you knock on the ground, he's going to stand back up.
Homelander, I would be a little scared if I ran into him in a back alley. Black Noir, if I ran into him in a back alley, I would be terrified. I'd be like, "Oh my God,
But
I'm a dead
nothing would
man."
happen. But nothing would happen. That's the thing. If you just like stare and say nothing, nothing will happen.
He would just. I feel like if I were to encounter Black Noir in a back alley, he would just walk up to me. I would be terrified. He would just kneel down, and then tie my shoelace, and then go about his day. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's what he would do.
But he could do worse.
He could do worse.
Homelander would just do something horrible. You'd probably just be dead. Black Noir could do something beyond worse, but he wouldn't.
I feel like we are comparing Homelander and Black Noir is like comparing Darkseid to the Joker. And the Joker I'm comparing to Black Noir at this point. Because Black Noir, like the Joker, will do evil stuff, but you have no idea when.
And he's
Whereas with
incalculable.
Homelander, I feel like anything could set him off. Black Noir is always in control, but will choose when to go off.
I was thinking Homelander falls between Lex Luthor and Darkseid. Like a more quippy billionaire-y. He's not like rich, but he's that position of power.
Yeah.
Because he can literally just he can tell anyone anything.
So we agree that the best member of the Seven is Black Noir.
Because he's the least
Just so cool.
He's the least toxic. He doesn't seem like a workplace harasser simply because he doesn't say or do anything.
I would honestly say he seems lovely to work with.
Like
if you were to work,
coworker?
Yeah, if you were to work with him, I'd be like, yeah, I'm totally down with him.
He doesn't really say anything. He doesn't take his mask off. He just kind of drinks juice through it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not bad. It's just he's weird, but he's not bad.
We saw him working with the security department at Vought, and he was just sitting down trying to look at their security cameras, seeing for where the members of the boys were going to pop up.
He just threaten his coworker who's tracking them from space.
He just sits down next to her and just observes, like, okay.
And then they're not like little people to him. They're not like.
I'm pretty sure he actually got her multiple Red Bulls to make sure that she was awake. He seems lovely to work with. Just a horrifying presence to go up against. Mm-hmm. So, with that out of the way, let's move on to our second poll.
Let's hear it.
Who's your favorite member of the boys?
Favorite member of the boys?
Yes.
Butcher. Off the
Butcher?
start. Well, the close second that could really meet is Frenchie. Immediately.
Yeah, Frenchie's cool.
Like, I don't know what to say. It's Frenchie. Like,
would you want to go out and, I feel like, especially with the members of the boys, your favorite member relies on who could you see yourself going out to the bar and just sharing a beer with?
Frenchie. Right off the start. He would not be so piddly-widdly. He wouldn't be so explains all of his PTSD and his horrifying plan like Butcher. Butcher's awesome from behind a camera, behind a screen.
Yeah.
Frenchie I would love to be in person with. Yeah. As a character.
I feel like you sort of relate to Frenchie in many ways. I could see a lot of Frenchie in you.
Thanks, I guess.
No, that's in a good way. That's in a good way.
It's
the charisma. It's the charisma of Frenchie. It's the awkward charisma of Frenchie. that the more you get to know Frenchie, the
Situational.
more friendly you become with him.
Yeah, je suis téton and something. I don't know. That just means.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Mexican.
I said I'm from Shut Up in French.
I feel like
Wait, who do you see in yourself? I'm thinking Butcher.
I feel like it's somewhere between Butcher and Kimiko. Well, with that said, Kimiko is my favorite member of the boys. She's so cool. She's not only cool, but she's just adorable.
I'd say she's
You're just constantly rooting for her because she says nothing, and so she's always so genuine in her actions.
she's not antithetical to Black Noir either,
Exactly.
because they're both kind of like wholesome, but they could definitely rip you apart in a couple seconds.
Absolutely. Especially in
Strong
spoilers.
silent type?
Spoilers for season 2. 5,
Spoilers,
4,
spoilers, spoilers, spoilers,
3,
spoilers, spoilers.
2,
Spoilers.
1. When we see her interacting with her brother, we see like a super soft side of her come out, and I was like, okay, she's definitely my favorite. Like, she's just
Like
It's-
a raccoon in the garage.
again, just like Black Noir. It seems like when I would be teamed up with her, she seems lovely. When I would go up against her, I would be terrified. I might be more terrified of. Well, no, I would be more terrified of going up against Butcher.
Oh yeah, I would not want to even like look Butcher in the eyes for too long.
Yeah. And even though Huey seems cool, I feel
Yeah.
like Huey's growing into his own.
Huey, I would play like an MMO with or something, like one of them, co-op big open world games with.
Yeah, and I do love Mother's Milk.
Well,
He's
I
so
would
cool.
want to go to the gym with him. I feel
Oh
like,
yeah, he
I-
seems like a good spotter.
yeah, actually, especially if I were to go to prison, I would want him to rehabilitate me.
Absolutely.
Like
I'm pretty sure that's what he was doing before Butcher came to recruit him back to the boys.
Well, that's what he did after he worked with Butcher, and then it was right before he went with Butcher to work with the boys. Shout out to whoever just took that dope video of us.
yeah.
Thank you. I think that was a Monko Radio Club.
Yeah.
Shout out to Monko Radio. Listen to
Shout out to
Monko
Monko.
Radio.
Yeah. Where music and minds meet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, your favorite member of the boys is Frenchie, and my favorite's Kamiko. So
Yeah.
perfect duo. And
Man, that explains a lot.
yeah, it
actually.
does. Strong silent type, strong charisma.
I think that's also how most of our conversations go. Is like you all mad in the corner. You're not mad. You just won't say anything, and you kind of have a resting angry. And I'm just like,
Yeah, absolutely.
do you want to go? Do you want do you want
no, I'm
Chinese
good.
food? Do you
No,
like?
I'm good.
No, you don't
No,
even.
I'm good.
It's either I'm fine or you just kind of like you're just shaking your head very quickly.
Well, here's the thing. When I say I'm fine, you beat me.
because you say I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. No, you're not fine. And then I say okay, I'm not gonna. And then you look at my phone and then I pull it back up and you're like yeah, I kind of. If you do order it, I mean, give me a low main.
I blame my dad for that. I blame my dad. He is that type.
Like that. I'm fine. I don't want it.
I'm
and then-
fine, and then when something happens, I'm like, that
You know,
does
I
sound
really-
nice. So
I knew it. Can we talk about how dope the soundtrack for The Boys is?
absolutely, I have it downloaded on Spotify.
Like,
I love it. It's one of my favorite soundtracks in television.
like for TV soundtrack for TV. Not even. It doesn't really have an original sound.
No, it doesn't have any like original score, or any original theme.
Yeah, it doesn't even have a theme song, but it works.
It more or less just relies on the acting and the writing for the emotion, and less on the soundtrack, which I highly respect.
I think they do have a in-universe theme or for each movie that they're in. Like each of the
I feel like there is
seven movies.
ambiance. I feel like there is ambiance music. I don't feel like there is soundtrack.
Because we see sets, we see some.
Well, no, there is
clips.
soundtrack. I don't feel like there is score. There's a difference.
Yes, score is original. Soundtrack is from independent artists usually.
Yes. The Boys has a soundtrack. It doesn't really have a score. So
I'm trying to think now for another poll. Besides you and me being, sorry, I can't believe how the chemistry kind of equates itself. It's just like, yep, yeah. Do you like this? Either you shake your head or you claw at me, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to hit you with the pillow. Do you want this for dinner? I'm fine. No, you're not. It doesn't mean fine.
it does. It's weird.
doesn't.
But with that said, let's move on to our final poll, and that is, honestly one that I've really been wondering because I feel like I'm the only one who wants this. What do you feel about the Seven and Justice League crossover? Yay or nay?
With the stage that Peacemaker is setting.
I feel like this would be like a sort of Crisis on Two Earths sort of thing. Do you ever see that animated movie?
On Two Earths?
Crisis on Two Earths.
No, I'm thinking of Crisis on Infinite.
It's like Crisis on Two Earths. It's the Justice League go to another Earth, but it's like all of their doppelgangers are just complete supervillains. But it would basically a crossover between the Justice League and the Boys would just be that.
That doesn't sound bad at all, honestly.
I want to see Homelander and Superman fight. I'm sorry. I want to see. I know Superman would win, but I just want to see the look on Homelander's face
When he gets his own medicine.
I want to see that satisfying moment when Homelander just realized I'm outmatched.
Or I'm matched, but I'm not actually that good because I was just way overpowered.
Exactly. I feel like the same would happen for A-Train. I feel like definitely the same would happen for Queen Maeve because I feel like Wonder Woman completely outclasses her.
Oh yeah, Wonder Woman would put her through a crater.
Absolutely. The only one that I feel like would have a hard time would surprisingly be Batman against Black Noir.
Oh yeah, no.
Because Batman would have all of his utilities in his utility belt, but he would not know what to do because Black Noir isn't just a reflection of Batman.
No, he's stronger.
He is something more that even we don't know about yet.
The way that Batman's objective is to be a figureless monster of a character, but he's still, a human. There's something so unnatural that he can portray. Black Noir actually has an unnatural element where he is obscenely strong and durable. Batman is not. Batman does actually need, with planning time. No, with recovery time. Batman needs recovery time more than anything because he's a human. Black Noir,
he can just go.
And he can get back up during a fight. He's kind of shown that he has almost. I feel like his ability is almost infinite stamina.
Oh, absolutely. I would feel like his is.
What's her name?
It's Kimiko.
Kimiko has more stamina than Black Noir. That's the thing. Kimiko would rip Batman to shreds. Kimiko, I feel like, could keep up with Wolverine. I feel like that.
Oh yeah, I feel like she is like his antithesis.
Mm-hmm. But more, I was gonna say more feral than Wolverine because he's only pushed to feral.
I'm just looking up because there is a word for what we think. For what we think Black Noir is. I'm just looking up what superpower we think he has because we don't think he doesn't have a superpower. He definitely has a superpower. We're just trying to narrow it down.
He's got something close to Captain America's level of, well, I can pretty much run and fight forever until I'm actually dead. I can survive falls, yeah,
enhanced strength, enhanced what is it? It's enhanced something.
Vitality. He has enhanced vitality, enhanced stamina, enhanced endurance, enhanced strength. He literally just has amp up a lot of things.
Enhanced.
I still feel like his durability is way more up though if he can keep up with Homelander because Homelander has not been broken yet. We haven't seen him bleed yet.
We haven't seen him bleed yet. We've seen Black Noir somewhat bleed. We've seen him get exploded and seen burns, but that's it.
But he's recovered.
He's recovered wholly fast.
Homelander's literal pretty much only weakness is his own psyche against himself. His sociopathy.
His need to be loved is his weakness.
His ego, his psychopathy. Psychopathy? Is that right?
Psychopathy.
Is it
psychopathy?
Okay, yeah.
Something.
I was like, am I reading this phonetically or correctly?
The crossover between Justice League and the Boys, you would be down for that?
Especially with this new Peacemaker stage set. When it comes to how much more get dark, get adult, get violent. Come on.
You're allowed to get.
I'm an adult.
You're allowed to get violent, but don't forget that humor.
Yeah, make it interesting. It's not just violent eye candy. It's not just
I really hope I have a grudge against the Flash movie coming out, but I hope that's the tone that they're gonna go with. A tone similar to Peacemaker, but PG-13. I hope that's the tone.
I feel like an R-rated Flash works. It's just never going to be conceived.
Never, because the Flash is not what most people would think of as, oh, let's go rated R with this character. Something
Reverse
like
Flash,
Deadpool.
absolutely. You can go X with Reverse Flash with some.
I feel like
stuff.
Reverse Flash, his psyche is very similar to Homelander. Mm-hmm. Like his entire origin is he wanted to be the Flash. He wanted to be more than the
I
Flash.
was supposed to be you.
He wanted to be his own thing, but then everyone was like, "Oh yeah, you're the Flash. You're the Flash. You're the Flash." No, I'm my own thing.
All right, you're going to call me this. I'm going to take it in my own direction, which I'm going to take it backwards, and I'm going to take it all out on the guy who's literally like draining my name and like personality.
Exactly. So we did have someone participate in this poll
Let's hear it.
who said no, they wouldn't want to see a crossover.
Who was that?
Fred the Duck.
Wow.
I'm surprised he wouldn't want to see a crossover.
I'm thinking, well, I can understand that because multiverse can be exhausting to a point. Because it's like No Way Home. Oh yeah, they're all Spider-Man. Into the Spider-Verse. They're all Spider-Man. It's a repeat of this.
No Way Home. They're all Spider-Man.
I'm trying to think. Sorry, my brain's resetting. For Flashpoint, yeah, it's literally like the split of it's like a break off of an actual event where there's two alternative outcomes, or just like the same people, two outcomes. That new multiverse movie coming out, it's gonna have multiple outcomes. It's the same person, we can follow them, but for like two absurdly, one's creeping into the really really mature adult territory, the other is like already there. It's there from off the beat. I think it might be a little whiplashy to be like, well, here's all of these. They're timeless. They're in universe. Superman's timeless. Batman's timeless. All these characters, they can exist.
They can exist
at any point
anywhere.
in time, and then if you want to modernize them, just give everyone a cell phone. That's literally the only difference.
I feel like the boys in many ways can be timeless because of their social commentary. Because in many ways, their social commentary has always been a thing and will always be a thing, but in different forms.
I call that a modern constant, where internet issues, ever since 2012, I want to say, is when they the news is talking about a meme. That's where it birthed. Up until 2019 with The Boys, we see, here's a repetitions of history. Here's high amounts of bigotry over the internet. Here's big figures.
Propaganda.
I was going to say billionaires, propaganda, giant corporations funding wars overseas, the military wanting some awful
It's always been there. It's just now more prevalent because of the internet.
With high-speed information and adaptability, because audiences love something that's very... art. What is it? The one thing that art is always supposed to be. It's supposed to rip your emotions out.
Not cognitive.
It's supposed to be very highly. It's supposed to really get a reaction out of you.
Reactionary.
No, reactionary is a whole different word. That still fits into what I'm describing when it comes to the racism, sexism, homophobia, bigotry that we see.
While you're thinking of that, going back, I do feel like The Boys is timeless in their own way. It's just bringing a modern edge to that timelessness. That still puts it in that realm of reality to the point where you can just watch it. I will die on this hill. You can watch The Boys a decade from now, and the social commentary will still be a thing.
The only difference is, as long as you don't really show the model of a phone or a car, that's the only things. But
And that's the thing. They have their own phones in The Boys. It's Vought phones.
Which, look, the big corporate icon that's everywhere, and everyone has no choice but to consume it because it's literally the only thing available. It's Vought literally has its hands in so many things. It's like Nestle, I'd say. Like Nestle or Pepsi.
Well, I was about to say, it's almost like Radio Shack.
What?
It's almost like Radio Shack. It's everywhere, isn't it?
No, Radio Shack's been gone since 2016.
Oh, my bad. Let me rephrase that. It's almost like Blockbuster.
Stop. Oh my god, wait, I think the last Blockbuster...
It's in Canada.
No, there's actually one in America. I think it's in Arkansas. Here, look up.
Arkansas.
Oh my god, was that... Are you thinking of the Vine? Kansas? This one's called
Where
Arkansas.
Where is the last Blockbuster?
Last Blockbuster. In America. Oregon. It's in
Oregon. There you go.
I think it's going to be converted to a museum of
Oh, absolutely.
for times past of that Retro.
It's gonna be like
in
a-
10 years, VHS will be retro, and that's gonna be weird.
Going back to the Flash Museum, it's going to be like how Star Labs became the Flash Museum after Barry died in the timeline. It's going to be like that.
Also, I was just listening to last podcast on the left, and I've been listening to their MK Ultra series, and I'm like, wow, they really like beat for beat in The Boys. Compound V is like what they were trying to make from LSD when they accidentally invented like a super mind drug in our world, in the real world. You just kind of made a hallucinogen. Like you made schizophrenia the pill, or schizophrenia the, I don't know how you take it. I don't take that. But for that, historically, I'd say it kind of holds up. Yep. A lot of, first, can I talk about Stormfront?
Yeah, go. Well, spoilers for season 2?
Spoilers.
Okay. 5, 4,
Spoilers.
3,
Spoilers.
2, 1.
Season 2.
Season 2
of The Boys. Spoilers. Stormfront. Do you want to like go ahead with this?
She's a Nazi.
But not like not a neo-Nazi. She looks young because of her superpowers.
She is literally immortal. She started as a literal product of the Nazi regime.
And
that was her history.
Historically, the scientists who she was with during that point in time
was the person who made Compound V.
Which a lot of Nazi scientists, historically, they were adopted by the U.S. military to continue. What crazy abomination were they making so that the U.S. could use it in Cold War era stuff? And basically...
Truth serum? Was it truth serum?
Yes. And you know what the truth serum was?
What was it?
Alcohol. For thousands of years, we've had...
I mean...
You know when people
just have people drink it.
I was going to say, people get super, super drunk. They start accidentally slipping because they just
Did
talk.
they just inject people with alcohol?
No,
thinking that it would do the same?
No, you can... They literally just gave them... Excuse me. You can just have two business people chatting, and if the drinks keep going, they might accidentally just slip up.
Yeah.
So if you just have like a 20% drink, like a 20% alcohol drink, and you just keep going with it, like a bourbon or something, I guess. I don't know. I don't really. Do you really drink? I don't really drink that much. But for stuff like that, they were making these super drugs, like completely synthesized, and it wasn't doing anything. You were just driving people insane for 30 years up until like the 60s.
Wow.
Some of it I think continue way on, created a lot of like global events, and if it ever
secretly, it probably still happens.
Well,
under the table, it probably still happens.
Let's say same way that things that they do at Area 51, yeah, they're still happening, but they're not happening at Area 51. Everyone knows about Area 51. All they have to do for Area 51 is hide it. Like Google Maps, you can't see it. It's all blurred out. It's like a gray block.
Truthfully, I don't think they are hiding aliens at Area 51, but I think it's suspicious that they don't want anyone going near it. So I just kind of I'm just kind of like, okay, what are you hiding? Since I know it's not aliens, what are you hiding then?
Basically with an area in the middle of nowhere like that, underground, there's just like cement tunnels that are nuke proof, and they pretty much just take you under a mountain, and under that mountain pass is where you actually store all of your crazy stuff you've accumulated. Whether
you think Area 51 is like a giant nuclear bunker?
Well, no, I think it's part of a tunnel system that only the military can probably access. Or it was up until everyone started, blowing the top off of the whole story. And then
Naruto running into it.
What? What?
Yeah, I'm bringing that back up. That was stupid, and I loved it.
That happened?
That happened.
I didn't watch Naruto. Did he what?
There were people who Naruto ran into Area 51.
Oh, I thought you meant in the show. Yeah, during the raid.
Yeah, during the raid.
It was more like a party. It's more like a block party at the entrance. But
anyway.
I thought you meant in the series, because I'm like, oh yeah, I guess in Dragon Ball he technically fought Hitler. But in Naruto they went to Area 50. That makes no sense since it's like spiritual. It's supposed to be like old. Is it supposed to be older? Or it's supposed to be modern.
I don't know because I don't watch Naruto.
Okay, but yeah, people in real life Naruto style running into
Area 51.
That was a weird point. I feel like that got drowned out by so many modern events.
Was that 2019?
Yep.
I think we peaked as a species at 2019.
No, I just think we peaked second place for film. 2019 is in modern times, second place.
I would say that
2004
I would
is
say
number
that
one.
19
Godzilla, Mean Girls.
No. I would say 19. I'm pretty sure it was 1994. Was the best year for film because that year we had. I'm pretty sure it was Jurassic Park, Pulp Fiction, Lion King, Forrest
Pulp
Gump.
Fiction's that young?
Forrest Gump. Yep.
Wow. Yeah, 1994. It's not as modern though.
It's not as modern, but modern times. 2019 is the peak of film.
Oh yeah, especially for a modern film. Yeah. For
Going back to The Boys.
Yeah, going back to The Boys though, for all that post MK Ultra level stuff that we see, especially for a certain hero who has had to stay under wraps because she is so scared of Stormfront for obvious reasons. Stormfront is basically the wrong side of history embodied in a person,
Exactly.
and you might notice they are very
And I hate that because at first, the first 3 episodes, I was like, I like her. I don't like her.
I was gonna say,
I can't like you anymore.
I loved how edgy and funny you were until you're a Nazi.
You're literally.
Not even like a edgy online person, but like you are straight up. You were there. Oh, you were there, dude. How did you escaped the what's his name trials?
You escaped. Wow. Like, okay.
What are they called?
So going back to not only what we said earlier about about us thinking that you are most embody Frenchie and I most embody Kimiko, but also going back to some of our earlier episodes. Mm-hmm. Let's go to BuzzFeed and find out which members of the
Wait, there's a quiz for that?
There's a quiz for that.
Oh, we need to see this. I need to know.
Which character from The Boys are we?
Basically,
Via BuzzFeed.
if either of us get Homelander,
If
we might have to go on
Homelander,
hiatus.
Stormfront, possibly the Deep, and Billy Butcher. We need to.
I hate the Deep, dude.
The other one should call the cops.
No, just there's a rock in front of us. I think we might just have to caveman each other. Like, just get it over with, man.
Can't enable it.
If I get Stormfront, the Deep, or Homelander, I will literally walk out crying. I'll be so offended.
Who do you want to get?
Frenchie, obviously. Maybe Butcher. I feel like Butcher.
I want to
would be
get
awesome.
either Kimiko or Black Noir.
Or Black Noir. I wouldn't mind Black Noir.
Oh,
So-
we've completely forgot to talk about Starlight this entire episode. I like Starlight.
She's got, she's not hateable. I just think
She had her one episode in season 1.
her lack of aggression makes her very not Gryffindor, you know? Just makes her very not our hero. You're her hero.
She's an outgoing Hufflepuff.
That's so too soft to me. Like, stop pulling your punches like that. You can be in the same way that what is her name? Not Wonder Woman.
Queen Maeve.
I keep wanting to say Queen Maiden, like Iron Maiden.
Oh.
Queen Maeve's level of like, yeah, she's powerful.
She was a Gryffindor, but she just stopped caring.
She's got powerful femininity.
Femininity.
Anemone. She's got powerful femininity, and she still doesn't pull her punches a lot. I feel like Starlight does just straight up pull all of her punches, both verbally and physically. Or she pulls her punches. I hate when people say verbally because verbally means action. Like pulling your punches verbally. Yeah, you're just pulling a punch. That's an action.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So now
Small tidbit.
everyone has a character from The Boys that matches their personality. Here's yours.
Are you
via
a Huey? Are you more of a Huey or a Butcher? So let's see.
Yeah. You want to go? You want to go first?
Do you want to go first?
I think you should go first.
You think I should go first?
Go first.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
All right. What's your greatest strength?
My greatest strength.
I'm really clever. I'm great with people. I'm determined. I'm super smart. I'm good with pressure, or I have a big heart.
I don't know any of the above. Is there more below it?
I don't think there is.
Okay.
Nope.
I would say I'm great with people. Either that, or I'm good under pressure. Whichever one you think.
I think it is between those two. I'm not gonna lie, because I've never seen you crack. That's the big thing. I've never seen you crack.
I think I've cracked more with people, so I think I'm good under pressure.
Good under pressure. Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Whose song is that? Queen or David Bowie's? Whose side are you on?
It's like
Because I'm on Queen's side. That's their song.
I was gonna say A Million Little or one big fight, you know, like a million toddlers versus one giant adult. It's like Queen has the majority, but David Bowie has the.
It's Queen's song.
He has the.
It's Queen's song. It was in Bohemian Rhapsody.
All right. I'm just saying, Queen can own that, but David Bowie owned that song. Like he
Actually,
owned
no.
it.
David Bowie admitted because
Not
there
like property, I mean,
no,
like he-
no. David Bowie admitted that I was about to say the climax of the song, like at the end of the song, Freddie Mercury's big wah, and then he just did that, like really loudly. He actually said that David Bowie said, "Wow, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that with the vocals."
Fine. All right. Yep. Okay. Queen owns the song, but David Bowie bodied that as a solo.
Yeah, their rivalry was weird.
And then it comes to a head with them teaming up. Man, what kind of? Why do all superhero stories come to our rivalry has ended?
Martha. Anyway, which character would you rather team up with?
Excuse me.
Becca, Kamiko, Mallory, Frenchie, or Mother's Milk, or Madeline?
I hate Madeline. Sorry.
No one likes Madeline. That's
So
the big thing.
Let me see.
So it's really between those five.
It's either Frenchie, Mother's Milk, or Kamiko.
I feel like the only people who would choose Madeline are the people who want to get Homelander.
Ugh. Anyone who like finds Homelander attractive, I think you should like take a rocket off the Earth and like never speak personally.
That's what Elon Musk is trying to do.
No.
He's trying to get a rocket off Earth.
Yeah, he should have like he should have no plan B. He should just kind of go off into space. He should join the Voyager satellite. For me, I would say Frenchie.
You would obviously go Frenchie.
I think I jumped the gun on that, you know.
Yeah.
My greatest weakness.
Your ego. Your ego. Wow, you and ego. Wow. That's a definite out.
That was quick.
Yeah. Your temper. You're too trusting. You're impulsive. You're selfish. You're a pushover. Which one do you think?
It's not. I don't think it's actually ego. Might be my ego talking, but I'm selfish, but I'm not a monster. I'm impulsive.
You're impulsive?
Yeah.
You say that's true?
I think I'm pretty quick to jump.
Okay. Fair enough. Which member of the Seven would you rather fight? Stormfront, A-Train, The Deep, Homelander, Black Noir, or Queen Maeve?
The Deep.
The Deep? You want to fight The Deep?
I feel like he's the weakest member physically.
Well,
He's fast in the water, but he's not strong in the water. He can't pick up a dolphin.
true. Looking at all these people, I'm pretty sure even Black Noir could kick his butt.
I'm thinking like, what? We haven't really seen the Deep like fight, really.
We've seen him ride whales and sharks, which, to be fair, that was an awesome scene.
But he's not actually strong. He's not like, Aquaman is strong on land because he's like physically powerful, and in the water he's like Superman.
Exactly. We've never seen the Deep's feats of strength.
So
We've even seen Black Noir's feats of strength.
I know I could, based on the whole Scientology bit.
Yeah.
Although,
It's the Church of the Collective.
have you had a Fresco?
I've never had a Fresca. That show turned me off of Fresca.
The drink?
Yeah, I was like,
It's
I'm never going to have a Fresca.
It's not bad actually. Like, I like sparkling waters. I like all of them. I like all of them water. It's better than soda, less of that sugar oil.
I'm not a big fan of sparkling water, really.
Dang. I'm surprised actually.
So, if you were a soup, what power would you want to have?
Or what power would I have?
Super strength, mind reading, telekinesis, shape shifting, manipulating weather, or manipulate time?
I'm thinking for this, that's a toughie actually.
Yeah, there are a couple
thinking-
that I would want too.
Shape-shifting sounds awesome, but I'm pretty sure for most shape-shifters, it's all presentation and no power. Like, you can't actually do the stuff that they can.
Yeah.
It would be telekinesis or manipulating time. Be somewhere between one of them. Probably telekinesis.
Telekinesis. I'm honestly, I know we're not doing mine yet, but it is between those are my choices. Those would be my choices. I'm having a hard time choosing.
I was gonna say those are like my outlandish ones.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? Somewhere safe, like a small town.
Nope.
Somewhere exciting, like a big city.
Maybe.
Somewhere peaceful by the ocean.
Probably.
Somewhere quiet, like the suburbs.
Nope.
Somewhere I'd make a difference.
Probably.
Or somewhere adventurous and far away.
I'd like to, but I'm scared.
I'd like to.
Small
but
towns, suburbs, lame. Big cities, I would just hate the commute anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because the city we live near isn't like super great right now. Somewhere peaceful by the ocean sounds nice, but expensive.
It does.
As I say, no
To be
short.
fair, yeah, it does.
No short town is cheap. I guess somewhere I'd make a difference.
Somewhere you make a
whether
difference?
that's like communally, whether that's career wise.
And finally, which team would you rather be part of? The Seven?
No.
The Boys?
Maybe.
Neither? Or both?
The boys.
You want to be with the boys. Mm-hmm. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
And you are Starlight.
No, that's not bad. That's not bad.
You're friendly, outgoing, and have a heart of gold. You're very down to earth and always try to do the right thing, even if it gets you in a little or a lot of trouble sometimes.
No.
Some people might call you naive, but you're not afraid to have a little hope. That sounds like you.
I was gonna say,
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like you.
I might receive some of the problems that Starlight faces. Annoying coworker. No.
Eh.
Backlash from the public, maybe. But I don't know. I guess the whole making a difference thing, the whole
Well, I mean, you chose to be in the boys, and she was put in the Seven. Would you have the same reaction? Like, I can't do this anymore. I'm like, ugh.
Oh yeah, I would flip if I could. If I got into a career like that and found out the change I could make, yeah, I would like pull a big flip.
Yeah. So, my turn.
Your turn. What's your greatest strength?
Would you like to read them off?
I'm really clever. I'm great with people. I'm really determined. I'm super smart. I'm good under pressure, or I have a big heart.
Good under pressure is out immediately. I crack. Crack so easily.
You crack when the easy's going easy.
I can't do people, so that's out. Super smart. I'm only smart when I'm not dumb. I have a big heart. I only have a big heart when I'm
You're
not
a big
super
softy.
cynical.
Don't lie to yourself.
I'm only that when I'm not super cynical. It is between determined and clever.
I would say determined.
I feel like
You
one
should-
leads into the other with me.
You
My
can,
determination makes me think, okay, how can I get what I want? And that leads to cleverness.
I think you're determined before you're clever.
So you go with determined for me?
Yes, I would say you're head first.
All right.
Before you are maneuvering.
All right.
I'm like a snake coming out of a bucket.
Slithery snake.
Which character would you rather team up with? Becca, Kimiko, Mallory, Mallory, sorry.
Mallory.
Frenchie, Mother's Milk, or Madeline?
It is between three. Kimiko, Frenchie, and Mother's Milk.
That sounds very similar.
Very similar.
That's what I said.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're the three best characters out of the choices.
Yep.
They're the two most likable, I should say.
I think I know who you would do well with, though.
Who do you think I'd
Kimiko.
be with? Kimiko?
Or Mother's Milk.
Kimiko and Mother's Milk for sure. Mother's Milk, I feel like Mother's Milk. If I were to be teamed up with, I would feel like I would have a very similar relationship with him that I have with you. Like I feel like he would push
Overly
me.
sarcastic?
Like I feel like he would push me to do stuff that I'm not really completely comfortable with until I do it and I'm like, okay, I like this. So, with that said, I feel like I go Kimiko. Because I feel like I feel like those are most of my friends outside of you.
What?
She is
Introverts?
a perfect reflection of me. So I would be like, yeah. We would be like the strong, silent types that would be like, okay, we're going to talk to each other via notes. That's it, and we are comfortable with that.
Two quiet introverts make a... Yeah. Yeah.
Two quiet introverts make a Black Noir.
He's a fusion. What's your greatest weakness? Your ego? Your temper? You're too trusting? You're impulsive? You're selfish? Or you're a pushover?
Well, get that trusting out of the way. Get that out of the way. I'm not a pushover. That's for certain. I'm not a pushover.
No, I'm kidding.
If I don't want to do something, then I'm just not going to do it. It's not that I'm going to do it to spite someone. I'm just not going to do it. I wouldn't say I'm impulsive. Would you say I'm impulsive? I wouldn't say I'm impulsive.
No, I wouldn't say it.
It is between I'm selfish, my ego, and my temper. Because there are many moments of my life that I do feel very selfish, even though everyone's telling me, no, you're not selfish at all. I'm like, no, you're lying, I'm selfish. It is, and I do admit that I do have a bit of an ego. I try not to, but I do have it. And my temper, God knows I have a temper.
I'm wondering if it's more ego or attitude.
It probably is attitude.
You have that audacity, you know?
Yeah. So, which one would you say?
Temper.
Temper, yeah.
Temper or selfish.
Yeah. Temper or selfish? I feel like temper. I try not to be selfish, but I can't help it when I'm angry.
I mean this in the least offensive way. You got that temper.
Oh, absolutely.
Which member of the 7 would you rather fight? Stormfront, A-Train, The Deep, Homelander, Queen Maeve, or Black Noir?
Just from a cultural standpoint, I have to go with Stormfront. I feel like I'm betraying my culture if I don't go. I want to beat Stormfront to death.
That sounds correct.
Yes. That was easy.
That
was an easy explanation.
Open and closed. Open and shut. If you were a soup, what power would you have? Superhuman strength, mind reading, telekinesis, shape-shifting, manipulating weather, or manipulating time?
It really is like between telekinesis and manipulating time.
Well, you're doing you got the telekinesis fingers on.
Well, I feel like this is more mind reading. Fingers up.
Like, no, I think 1 is more like this would be like laser eyes.
I feel
Cyclops.
like this is more Professor X sort of thing.
Well, it could also be Cyclops, a whole hand on the side of your thing.
Yes.
It's like visor lifting.
Yeah. So it is between telekinesis and manipulating time. My only real thing against manipulating time is the fact that I've seen so many time travel movies and stories that manipulating time never works, but sometimes it's a multiverse thing, so you're allowed to do it.
In this instance, I think you could calculate your time manipulation. I think if you're fighting Stormfront with that time manipulation, that actually might help. Think about it. Where are you gonna get her where she's most vulnerable? Go back in time. Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say.
true. I'm gonna Deadpool to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I go manipulate time.
I'm just thinking logically. So for you manipulating time,
I would go manipulate time. Even though telekinesis, I would try to lift myself, try to fly.
like Magneto style. He can't fly. He can just lift himself because he has metal.
I would feel like that's more like Scarlet Witch sort of thing.
Oh, yeah,
she
'cause
can't fly. She lifts herself up.
As she technically does something close to what Tony does, where she literally
She like repulsor lifts with magic.
but it's like instead of pushing force, like she's not blasting below her, she's like bringing.
She's lifting it.
That scarlet magic that pushes her up. But yeah,
It is between manipulating time and telekinesis, and this did not help narrow down.
I'm thinking for you, just so you don't copy me for manipulating time.
All right, fine.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? Somewhere safe, like a small town. Somewhere exciting, like a big city. Somewhere peaceful, by the ocean. Somewhere quiet, like the burbs. Somewhere you'd like to make a difference, or somewhere adventurous and far away.
Get big city out of there. I would get sensory overload so quickly.
Right off the bat.
Yes. Adventurous and far away, same thing. Get that out of the way.
Scary, unfamiliar.
Scary, unfamiliar. Don't like it. It is between those last four. It is between somewhere safe, somewhere quiet, somewhere peaceful, or somewhere I make a difference. I'd be like, they all sound good. Like, somewhere.
Do you like the ocean?
Yes, I love the ocean.
I haven't been to the beach with you yet, so.
I love the ocean. That's my peaceful. That's my quiet. That's
That's your peaceful place? Somewhere peaceful.
That
like
is
the
my
ocean?
peaceful place. I'm just walking. It's just me walking across the shore, just across the sand. Every now and again, the water will come up and then spray me, and it'll be like, oh, this is nice. It's between somewhere peaceful, somewhere quiet, safe, somewhere to make a difference. It's hard.
It sounds like somewhere peaceful by the ocean for you.
I feel like it is, but I feel like in my heart of hearts, it is between somewhere peaceful and somewhere I'd make a difference.
You want to flip a coin?
We're gonna flip that rock. No. Where would you? Fine. I'll go ocean.
And finally, which team would you rather be a part of? The 7, the boys, both, or neither? Do you say neither or neither?
I would go neither. Well, I would say neither. I say
you.
neither.
I tricked
yes,
you.
you did. I would say the 7 for one simple reason.
Let's hear it.
I would crush them from the inside out.
Oh, like you'd implode their whole thing.
Exactly. I would be like a more active Starlight. I'm in there, and those who cross me, I will make sure they pay through the media. Those who I like will be rewarded.
Oh, okay.
With that said, how am I not a Slytherin? This is the most Slytherin thing I've ever said in my life.
I was gonna say you'd be like radicalized Starlight, like not,
would be-
not
yes.
neutral, radicalized, like change making revolution
Exactly.
from
And
the
I
inside.
would get the 7 to a place where they are morally good. Even
But
though
first-
I might have to go down with them, I will make sure they were a place that's morally righteous.
Or you'd like tear them down with you if you go down.
Absolutely. Again, very Slytherin. How am I a Gryffindor?
I really don't know. I feel like emotionally you are still Slytherin.
Absolutely. So with that said, the 7.
The 7.
And with that
For
said,
that reason, let's see the results. Oh,
Butcher!
You got
Yeah!
You-
Call the cops! We're not gonna lie, you're kind of a BA.
You can say badass.
Okay,
You're a very protective person and are willing to do absolutely anything for the people you love most. You're determined and persistent. Once you've set your mind to something, there's really no stopping you. But that also means you can be kind of stubborn and have a little bit of a short temper sometimes. That is
Yes!
T to a T. Mine was very, you kind of got the, no, for you it's like Butcher. You are Butcher.
I am, again, how am I not a Slytherin?
I mean-
Butcher is a Slytherin.
Y'all both got that leather jacket. Me and Butcher, the only thing we got in common is our hula shirts. Like,
And also, I do love me a good Hot Pocket. I would love a Hot Pocket for breakfast.
I want to try Hot Pockets. Which one should I try first?
Go for the original. Go for the pepperoni. Go for the pepperoni and garlic.
Oh, that sounds great, actually.
Yeah. Start the original and work your way up.
All right. I do like pepperoni, like a lot, actually.
Very good.
So it's like a pizza pocket?
Yeah.
Hot Pockets are pizza pockets?
Hot Pockets are pizza.
Oh,
They're like
I'm-
snack pizzas.
I'm thinking of like I think the ones that I saw when I was younger were like the fettuccine ones. So I thought they're like Italian foods wrapped in a weird thing.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I'll try.
So, again,
You lucky.
two things. One, what do we say about if one of us got Billy Butcher?
It's not. Well, Butcher isn't as bad. Not as bad. Think
Yeah.
about it. Well,
And two-
I was thinking more Stormfront or Homelander. If either of us got them, it'd be like over.
Oh, absolutely. And two, I feel like this is my going back to the whole ego thing. I feel like Carl Urban. Get rid of the beard. Do I kind of look like him? Like how you kind of look like Ryan Reynolds? Get rid of the beard.
A little bit, actually. I think if you had once again with the mustache, it's misleading. If you had his like thick stash.
I need to grow a thick stash because of
Can we look up him?
my-
I'm pretty sure I feel like he had like stubble in one of the episodes.
yeah.
Carl Urban. You do look a little Carl Urban. If we see him without a beard, yeah, a little. You got a little bit of Carl Urban.
Yeah.
Are his eyes blue? Or green?
I think they're brown.
It's like a light brown.
You know what we're
Zoom
gonna
in-
do?
zoom
We're
in
gonna-
and enhance.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go on the Stucker website. We're gonna Wikipedia this. We're gonna Wikipedia this actor to see
Carl Urban
Wikipedia.
Wiki? In Espanol.
in Espanol.
No, don't Espanol.
We're not going to Espanol. We are going to see what color eyes he has because
Carl Urban. Let's see.
New Zealand, German. His father a German immigrant.
Wow.
Wow.
Bro's like Mr. Worldwide.
Spouse, children. Oh, congratulations, 2 children.
Congratulations.
June 7th. What?
What?
My birthday's June 6th.
Wait. Oh,
That's freaky.
he looks good for 49.
He does.
Dude, that
That's just
that
freaky.
That doesn't help. Honestly, I think Butcher for Halloween could be cool. I'm not being Homelander. I'm being like,
You're gonna be Starlight for Halloween. It's confirmed by BuzzFeed.
it has to be her Vought suit though.
Yes, absolutely. Not her suit that she made herself. That'll be her thoughts.
Just like get kicked out of any like party on Halloween. That'd be funny.
Exactly.
So
And
yeah.
and obviously Audrey will be Huey. Clearly.
Yeah. You lucky jerk.
I'm so happy and at the same time so terrified.
I'm so mad. I got Starlight. I could have gotten.
Does that mean I can say the C word?
I guess. I mean, are you?
Yeah.
Are you Australian?
No.
It's like that just means mate. Like the way they say.
It
"Oi-
does.
Oi, mate. Like
They say it so casually too. It's weird.
over here, that's like the worst thing you could say.
It's the worst thing you can say. And you can't there's no and the worst thing is the most sexist thing is there's no male version of it.
There's like DICK, but it's not. That's way lower.
Yeah.
In a rung.
I feel like we have to make that a thing.
What?
Our generation needs to come up with the male version.
Make a guy slur.
Yes, we have to make the guy version of that slur.
I wonder if they're gonna delve into that in like season 3. That's gonna be like so for those in power.
You saw
we
you saw Zombieland 2?
No.
Oh,
Wait, yes, I
there's-
did. Yes, I did.
There is they run across the doppelganger version of Woody Harrelson's character and I was about to say Mark Zuckerberg's character.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg's character. They
Mark
run into
Zuckerberg, also known as Jesse Eisenberg.
well, he did play Mark Zuckerberg.
I know. I'm
They
sorry.
run across their doppelgangers. I want Billy Butcher to come across his American counterpart and come up with his own male version of that phrase.
No way.
So
Oh,
yeah,
that's
I'm
sorry. I'm dying.
happy.
You are so lucky. I am so mad.
Well, I'm just happy now that I got confirmation that I somewhat look like Carl Urban in the same way that you somewhat look like Ryan Reynolds.
I was gonna say, isn't that your first look-alike comparison? Have you ever been compared to a celebrity before?
I've never been compared to a celebrity.
Wow.
And every time that I've done like one of those apps, Celebrities Like Me or something like that, I always come up with women.
So,
And I'm always horrified. I'm like, what?
said that with such a straight face.
Yes.
For me, it's just like Grant Gustin, Ryan Reynolds. When I had like,
Okay, so all the pretty people, thanks.
I was gonna say, hey, you get the ladies. Congrats, you get the ladies when you're compared to.
I'm pretty sure I got one point where I was Walter Jr. I'm pretty sure that was one of the Celebrities Like Me comparisons.
Nah, you're a little square. He's a little pointy. You know.
You would say that I'm more Carl Urban than I am Walter Jr.
Yes, in a good way. I mean that in a good way.
Yes, that is a good way.
Yeah.
Nothing against the actor who plays Walter Jr.
No, he just looks like a teenager. Like,
Exactly.
straight
He
up.
is eternally a teenager.
He looks like Nate from Euphoria. They look
I don't
just
know who
like.
Nate from Euphoria is.
You might notice when you see him.
Nate from Euphoria?
I was
Nate?
gonna say when you see the show.
Nate from Euphoria.
Just from like afar, if you don't have your glasses on, it's just like that. If you took Walter Jr. and you just like buffed him, I guess.
Yeah. Because Walter Jr. does have a bit more of a slimmer
If you take
and,
his-
and slightly more obscure face.
I thought that was I think that was prosthetics for his character.
I don't think it was.
Does this actor have?
Yes. Cerebral palsy, I think is the word.
His
If
actor
I'm
actually has
pronouncing
that?
right. Yeah.
That's crazy.
There was an entire like interview where he went into that.
No way. That's cool. But for that, I actually did not know. I feel like that traps a lot of actors when you are
It's a typecast. It's
when you're in a wheelchair. If you have any form of like dwarfism, I think if you're missing a limb also. But
oh yeah. Well, dwarfism never stopped Peter Dinklage.
no, it actually really didn't at all. Especially, I think voice acting also assists with that.
Warwick Davis. It didn't stop Warwick Davis. Warwick Davis is in anything with a small person.
Also, the actor who plays the monster in The Shape of Water and the
Doug Jones.
Doug Jones.
Doug Jones.
Like the.
We're both. I've just finished watching Discovery. You're starting to watch Discovery, and Doug Jones is amazing.
Doug Jones is like a good actor too, not just a good
This was the first time I've actually heard his actual voice.
and not like him
And
sent
he's a
through-
great actor.
Yeah, not just him sent through some wacky, crazy equalizer to make him distorted into a monster, because he already can play the part physically.
Yeah.
But he is so good with line delivery.
I want him in an actual dramatic role now.
Discovery's a little pretty dramatic.
It is, but I want him in like an actual like award nominated, like an Oscar worthy thing, because I feel like he could pull it off.
I think when you get a lot of like A-list E actors who can put up with the having to do prosthetics for their role, Doug Jones puts up with it firsthand and then delivers as an actor.
Yes.
Sorry, this just turned into like a Doug Jones praise session.
Because he deserves the praise.
Yeah, just like shout out to Doug Jones as an actor.
People who are constantly in prosthetics all the time that aren't famous movie stars, so they don't get the shout out. People who do their own, people who do stunts, they all deserve shout outs.
Tamura Morrison doing his own stunts at 60.
And just the stunt people who don't like get the highlights.
I think Corridor on YouTube really gives them a good spotlight for stuff like that, especially behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
So,
They deserve their own Oscars. More than the fan favorite Oscar that's gonna happen now, which is a stupid Oscar. It is the pity Oscar.
who's it gonna go to? Robert Pattinson?
No, it's the fan. It's for the movies that came out last year.
Oh,
It's I think like
Andrew
Free Guy's on there. It's like the summer blockbusters that everyone says is the best movies that came out last year. That the Academy was like, no.
nuh-uh.
No. It doesn't fit one of our categories. It doesn't fit one of our categories for what makes a best picture.
I hate categorization that doesn't praise a section. It just cuts off really good works that don't fit sometimes. So
Honest Trailers did an Honest Trailer for this year's Oscars, and their starring section was literally just listing off how every single movie that was nominated for Best Picture checks off one of the categories for what makes a Best Picture for the Oscars.
wow.
It got that bad. It's that formulaic.
And for TV this year, you think season 3 is gonna like try to get up there with that? You think it's gonna get any kind of crazy nominations?
I hope. I don't think The Boys has gotten any big nominations, but I hope it does. And I hope Jensen Ackles brings it. Because he's a great actor. He was not only Dean on Supernatural, but he was also Red Hood in the animated Under the Red Hood movie, and he was fantastic in that. And I still stand by that. He can be a live action Red Hood any day. I feel like he can pull it off. Mm-hmm. I feel like he can pull off an older Red Hood, like how Ben Affleck could pull off an older Batman.
Or Joaquin Phoenix pulls off Joaquin, sorry.
Joaquin.
I always want to say Walken.
Walken.
Walken Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
I don't know.
Joaquin Phoenix pulling off the older Joker role.
Yes.
Not even like old, just older, like old enough. And I feel like he'll be the same age as Kevin Conroy's Batman.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like if I'm being honest, if we're going on a bit of a tangent for Joker, Joker, my theory about Joker is that it's not all in his head, it's all a memory. He's remembering his origin, and that's why even though the person that we see at the end of the movie is the same age of the person that we've seen throughout the rest of the movie. Like, think about whenever you try to remember back into your past. Do you remember how you looked back then? Or do you think of yourself now?
I always thought of myself in the present moment.
Exactly.
How I looked. And then I look back, and I'm not unfamiliar with that face, though.
You're not unfamiliar with the face, but you don't immediately think, oh, I'm that person again.
No, I could definitely like do like a when it's not like a flashback. It's more like my eyes are.
But you have to like focus.
It's more like my eyes are on little roller coasters and they fly back into my head and I see like memories. If I have to like it's like a big filing cabinet room. Stop.
I'm sorry. I just watched Cats again. It's such a bad.
You just watched Cats again? Yeah. Why did you do that?
It's a terrible movie. But it's like a train wreck. I have to examine just
okay.
what went wrong.
Like you shouldn't be watching it, but
But
I'm gonna watch this train wreck happen because what happened?
And at the same time, there is like one good scene in the movie, and that is the memory scene.
Did you hear about the butthole cut?
There is, and I want to see it for scientific purposes.
for research, critique, and review, just to make sure that
I need to see James Corden in that cut. Okay.
Oh no, come on! I want to talk about The Boys again.
Well, in many ways, I feel like this is a subject matter that the boys would talk about.
Oh my God, So in season 3 of The Boys, James Corden's cat hole cut of the movie Cats in universe in a parody. I hope you guys tuning in have no idea what we're talking about when you're trying to catch up.
Yes.
I hope my grandmother's listening, because I'm pretty sure I just sent her the link to this. So
Yes.
I'm just like,
is
so
the
what do
best-
you talk about on your show?
That would be the best thing ever.
Well, you see, Mom, James Corden's the cat's role in the butthole cut. No, wait, stop walking away, guys, come back. This is real, I swear.
So, with that said, before we end the show, I just want to ask one thing, because the boys Diabolical has tackled this question more than The Boys the TV show ever has. What would be the best superpower at first that you think the more you think about it would be awful? What is the best superpower at face value that do you think would be awful when you actually have it?
Either mind reading or super strength, because mind reading sounds great, sounds cool. Oh, I barely have to have a conversation. No,
You can't focus.
or you can't turn it off because you're going to be hearing it. Especially when it comes to the superpower, it's like puberty where you develop it, it happens, and you're like, great, this is awesome, and then it has so many consequences because you haven't deemed control over it. Same thing with the super strength. You accidentally start crushing things. You pick up your phone, it shatters.
It takes a lot of practice to grip things lightly enough for you to not completely break them.
I feel like robotic arms struggle with that. If they're not strong enough to pick up something, they will accidentally they'll break themselves trying to pick up something. The arm itself will just snap when it tries to.
Yeah.
So
I'd
say it's between one of those.
I feel like the worst superpower that is amazing at face value, I think it might be super speed.
Oh yeah, because if you actually try to use it, you might pick up so much energy and wind around you that it would blast everything.
Because first problem, most people think, as is depicted in most shows, TV, movies, anything like that, super speed, you just immediately pick up momentum like there's nothing. But that's not actually how speed works. You actually have to run faster, faster, and faster, and faster, and faster until you eventually reach that super speed. Mm-hmm. And then there's also the whole bit about how when an object hits you when you're moving super fast, it hurts all the more. So mention how many bugs.
Oh, dude, they would be like small pellets or BB bullets, or BB gun pellets,
And then stopping would be even more hard than starting.
And wind, your skin would be pulled back just by pressure.
Absolutely.
Have you ever seen the effects of not wearing sun lotion?
Yeah. Well,
on truckers
yes.
specifically, because half of your face is always at a window,
Yep.
and your arm can actually get slowly burned. Have you ever seen age freckles? Half of your face looks like it's melted.
I'm pretty sure I'm starting to have age freckles because there was an entire summer where I didn't wear sunscreen and told no one.
You what? Why?
Because it was during my 13-year-old rebellious stage where I don't want to do something because it just takes too long. It takes too long, even though it only takes 5 minutes max.
I just hated how it made me feel, especially when you have to put it on your nose and stuff.
It's so cold too.
It's so uncomfortable. It's not like I just have soap on in the shower. It's there's this awkward ointment because you have to layer it on. It's worth it, but it sucks in the moment.
I
know what
feel
you're
like
talking about.
objectively the worst superpower would be mind reading. Mm-hmm. But my second, but a close second for me would be super speed.
Yeah, just because of the consequences of all of these, when you're strong enough or fast enough, everything has like fast consequences or heavy strong consequences.
To be fair, a lot of these scenarios with super speed, the Flash, the TV show, has dealt with.
But with the Flash, I'd say Quicksilver has these issues more. The Flash, because he has like the Speed Force.
Exactly,
He
the
literally
Speed
has a force
the
field
Speed
that
Force
protects him.
The Speed Force at first, before he even starts to run, the Speed Force builds momentum for him, and then the whole bug scenario where they're constantly hitting you and it's kind of like bullets, handled because there's lightning all around him, zapping the bugs.
And also because it doesn't really build up wind the same way that like when lightning strikes, not everything around it doesn't light on fire. It's just where the lightning strikes lights on fire because it's isolated in a little magnetized beam of light.
Exactly.
The Speed Force, you're literally a magnetized object, not like magnets, but I mean like the energy doesn't disperse and blast. The cars don't fly down the street you run on. You just go down and all of it's carried with you, and that's why you're so fast. With like someone like Quicksilver, he's mutated to where he can just run at that speed. He has the consequence of if he doesn't like heels on the ground, like hands up, he'll literally just fly forward uncontrollably.
And the Boys Diabolical handles this in an episode. Again, final spoilers.
Final spoilers.
5, 4,
Final
3,
spoilers.
2, 1.
You guys get it.
The Boys Diabolical handles this in an episode where one girl who is injected with Compound V eventually gets her superpower, and she becomes a ghost. Her life is horrible. She cannot touch anything. She cannot move. She can barely move anywhere with her legs. She cannot eat. She cannot drink. She cannot sleep. She cannot even die.
Because you're already at that you're physically translucent.
It is the most horrifying thing, and she is surrounded by a whole bunch of very forgotten super soups, and they are all about to stage revolution. Homelander comes, kills them all, except her, because she is spared from Homelander's heat vision. She can't do anything about it, though. She has no strength. She cannot control Homelander. All she can do is just watch for the rest of her life.
Can she phase through walls?
She can phase through walls. She can phase through floors, but she cannot live.
Okay. I'd say for a superhero
That is
standpoint,
horrifying.
because you can intercept anything with no consequence, like no one can hurt her, and she can listen in on anything because what are they going to do? Stop her? You literally can't touch her. That for a superhero standpoint, that sounds great. For life,
For just
that's
a
not life.
person, I would honestly say that is a fate worse than death.
Yes, like because you're not dead. You're
Because
still,
even when you're of old age, will you die? I don't think.
Do you age?
I don't know.
Like that sounds like a nightmare.
Exactly. You're just constantly on the outside. You can never physically interact with anything.
You're not a invisible observer. You're not a silent observer. You're just existing, but you can't like interact or exist.
Exactly.
Might be peaceful if you're a monk, actually. That sounds like a monk's goal. Like to be literally so enlightened you don't have to touch, eat, sleep, drink, or anything.
Very true,
Or
but just for just a teenage girl.
Yeah, it sounds like a nightmare. Like beyond nightmare.
Exactly. Like the most you can do is just watch, and if you have an opinion, it doesn't matter.
But you can also listen. That's
You
the
can
thing.
listen. You can listen, but if you have an opinion and want to do something about it, if you're like a moral person and you see something go wrong and want to do something about it, you can't.
I was gonna say you also technically couldn't report in because all you could do, unless there's like a mic that follows you, because you can't pick up the radio and signal, hey, the problem's over here, like to other superheroes.
Exactly. There is a scene where she tries to take control of someone because she just realized that she is a ghost super, so she thinks that she can have all these amazing superpowers. She tries to stop a crime by taking control of the mugger, but all she does is just copy his movements.
No.
She can't do anything. She just copies.
No.
She's stuck in his body, just like, no, I'm trying to stop you. Why?
All she can do is like just she can just experience his POV. That's it.
Exactly.
That's a nightmare. I think you win as like that's the number one worst, and then
Becoming a ghost is the worst superpower ever.
so top 4 worst powers to have. Number 1, ghost. I would just say. Number 2, speed.
Mind reading. I would
Mind
say.
reading. Yeah. Number 2, mind reading. Number 3, super speed. Number 5, super strength.
Yes, because super strength just takes a lot of practice.
But I'd say it's the most I can control this after a while. Cause
Absolutely.
you can get strong as a regular person if you just have super strength. It just means that level of not everything's a pencil.
Yep.
So treat everything like a pencil.
And as an honorable mention, flying.
Yeah, because
I would love to fly, but it's physically it would be a pain.
Like, are you floating above the ground? If you go up in the air,
You wouldn't have enough oxygen. You would just be cold the whole time.
So you would literally, if you had an astronaut suit, then you'd be fine. But like at that point, you might as well just be an astronaut at that point.
So I think we got our discussions out of the way. I think we can both agree we're excited for The Boys season 3.
To observe, not experience the nightmare of soups.
Exactly.
Just because of the fact of there's so many consequences to having hero abilities. It's not as fun as it is interesting. So yeah, I'd rather I'd rather have DC level powers where there's not really like consequences of my powers. Mm-hmm. There's consequences of the world because it's a world where there's powers. But I would not want to live in the boys' worlds. It's close enough to ours that it's annoying.
Yeah.
But with the addition of superheroes, it's just like, yeah,
It would just be a nightmare.
Unless there's
and it would be
literally-
weird because the celebrities themselves who are superheroes, the celebrities have movies where they play themselves. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah, that is literally like cult of personality to the max, like super cult of personality.
It's weird to think of.
Corporate
But
media nightmare. Coming from 2 media people, this is horrible. That is a horrible thing to live through. It's amazing to watch. It's amazing to write for. Oh, it's an amazing plot. It is terrible if you ever, like, things that... A story that I don't want to come to real life is this. This is like the peak of it.
I would say also Terminator. Never want that to happen. Even though it's bound to happen, we all know it.
We are close to a Fahrenheit world, like Fahrenheit 451, because of smart houses. Tessellating smart houses, we are very close because they are self-controlling, self-sustaining. Like it's literally just like the thermometer or the, what is it? Yeah, the thermometer is conscious. It knows it's too moist in here. It has to turn up it has to turn up the AC. It knows it's conscious. But yeah, that's the reality we're close to is just, books are not obsolete. We still like them because screens hurt your eyes after a while.
Yeah.
Houses are kind of smart, but we don't have the fire yet. We don't have firefighters who burn houses.
Who are literally fighting with fire.
Fighting with fire, not fighting the fire.
Exactly.
Fighting with, not at.
Yeah.
So yeah. Luckily, we don't have a The Boys world.
Yeah. So, with that said, stay tuned for that. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at ReelReckers. That is REEL_RECKERS.
And our TikTok at ReelReckers. That's REELRECKERS to stay up to date on all of our polls and for a shot at a shout out next time.
Until then, I'm Billy.
I'm Dalton. And just one last thing. I just want to shout out the show before us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Haley's comment.
Yeah.
And then after us, we have, if you can't tell, swapped schedule.
Smooth Jazz.
Yeah, right after us, we get to be let out by Smooth Jazz.
By the B movie.
Just a shout out to our schedule buddies, our schedule neighbors.
You like jazz?
You like jazz? You like jazz? I'm adding that to the soundboard now.
Absolutely.
That plus a bleep.
That will be our ending thing now that we've switched schedules. You like jazz?
Oh,
and then we switch into that.
That's perfect.
Yes. So
I'm writing that down. Yeah, so until then,
I'm Billy.
And I'm Dalton.
And you can consider this real wrecked.